everyone. So Sunday, May 10th is Mother's Day. It is Mexican Mother's Day and it is also American Mother's Day. So today I want to show you how to make a fun and fairly simple card that your mom will love. Mine today is made by my 3 kiddos. So here is what my example looks like. As you can see, it is hands. So you need a couple of materials today. You're going to need some paper, scissors, something to write with, and we'll talk about a couple of different ways to make this if you don't have colored paper. So the first thing you need is a piece of paper that is going to be the base of your card. So you're going to hold it the long way, and you're going to fold it in half like a book. You want to make sure you get your edges nice and lined up straight so that it looks nice and neat. And then before you do any gluing, you're going to want to check that it opens up like a book. So you want the opening to be on the right hand side, not the left. So make sure it opens like you would open a book. If you're opening up the other way, it's kind of silly, but it happens sometimes too. So here's my card, half folded. It opens this direction, which is how it should be. So first thing, get your base for your paper. Then you're going to do one of a couple of things. You can trace your hands on colored paper. Cut it out and then glue it down. And then I'll talk about the next step after that. Or what you can do if you don't have colored paper, take your hand, lay it on your paper, trace it, and then you could color it with marker or color crayon or colored pencil after that. So I am doing mine for my 3 kids. So I have one handprint from each of them, and they are making this for their grandmas. So this goes to one grandma, and we're going to make the second one together. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to check to make sure my card opens the correct direction. So opening is on the right hand side, not the left. So I check to open like a book. Then I'm going to grab my glue stick. Now if you don't have a glue stick and you're using colored paper or paper that you've cut out, you can go ahead and use tape. Use what you've got. If you don't have a glue stick, but you have a glue in a bottle, use that. If you have tape, go ahead and use that. So I'm going to put my pink one down first because that is Wyatt's and he is my oldest. So I'm going to stick it up near the top. Now, if you are doing this and it is just you, you can go ahead and stick it in the middle, and then in just a little bit we're going to add a stem. So I'm going to go ahead and glue down Wyatt's hand really quick using my trusty glue stick. Now, do I need to use a whole lot of glue? Nah, just enough to get it all stuck. But I do know my table's going to be kind of messy after I do this. So here's my hand. I'm going to stick it down. Gluing it down. And there you go. We got Wyatt's hand down. Now, before I get too far, because I'm going to be layering the other 2 hands on top of this, I'm going to get my green stem on there. So I'm going to measure about how much I'm going to need off of a strip of green, and then I'm going to cut it. So got my strip of green, put my glue on my strip, and then I'm going to stick it under the bottom of my hand. So I just tucked it up underneath the bottom. Now if you'll notice, I have a little bit hanging off, and that's because I want to be able to cut them off at the bottom of my paper when I'm all finished. So one hand. Next comes up Mr. Sawyer Bugs. So I'm going to take Sawyer's hand, put some glue on the back. Now if it is just you that you are making yours, you can stop right here. I'm just going to quickly get mine glued on so you can see how the other ones look when I get them on. If you want to include your younger siblings, your younger brothers or sisters, go for it. It'd be fun to have all of you on your mom's card, I'm certain. So here is Mr. Sawyer's hand, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take some of my green. This time, because I have just a little bit left, I'm going to fold it in half to make sure I have enough for Miss Callie Bugs so that she's got hers. I'm going to take that piece of green, stick some glue on it, peel up the very, very bottom of my hand, and stick it down. And again, you'll notice I've got some extra hanging off. So last hand is my little Callie bug. I'm gonna take and give her some lovely glue on her fingers. Take her hand and I'm gonna stick it near the bottom here. And then I'm gonna take my last piece of green and put some glue on the back, and I'm gonna glue it down. Now, all three of mine have little tails hanging off. So I'm gonna let them dry for just a minute before I cut them off because I don't want to accidentally rip them up as I'm cutting. So what I'm gonna do while I'm doing that is I'm gonna take 3 rectangles of green. Now, what do you think these are gonna be? Give you a hint, they're leaves. So, in order to get leaves that all look about the same, I'm gonna stack them all up on top of each other. Now, my 3rd graders were really good at this year, so they learned how to make sure things were the same by either folding in half or stacking in on top of each other and then cutting out. And that's what we're gonna do. So I've got all 3 stacked on top of each other. And I'm going to start at the bottom and give kind of a curve all the way up, cut it off at the edge, and then I'm going to do the same. I'm going to give it a curve, and I want to keep it fatter at one end and pointy at the other, so I get things that look like leaves. Now, I need 3, because 1 for each stem, so I've got 3 leaves here. The next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take and I'm going to glue them to my card. So, going to stick 1 here with Sawyer's flower, 1 here with Callie's flower, and then I'll tuck my 3rd one up here with Wyatt's flower. So glue stick, and I'm going to start with Sawyer's flower, and I just layered that leaf right on top of the stem. I'm going to take the other one and stick it on Miss Callie's stem. And I'm going to cover a little bit of her hand just to give it a little bit of personality. And then Wyatt's. So Wyatt's is going to come up here, and I'm probably going to have to trim a little bit of his leaf off. So I'm going to go ahead and cut just a little bit of his leaf off just to make it a little smaller so it'll fit on my paper. So I just cut a little bit off. Going to stick some glue on the back of that one. And tuck it a little bit under his hand. So now I have 3 leaves, 3 stems, and 3 flowers. Now I can go ahead and cut off the bottom tails of those flowers, and there you have it, my nice Mother's Day card for my kiddos. So if this is just you, you can trace your hand on colored paper and glue it on there, and then do the stem and the leaves. If you want to draw it on there, just trace your hand, and then you can color your hand to be the flower, draw the stem and the leaves. It's kind of up to you what materials you have. If you want to color paper and then trace your hand on it, or trace your hand on it, color your hand, and then cut it out and attach it, that works as well. Whatever you want to do, your mom is going to love it because you made it and you made it with love. Now, on the inside, you're going to be simple. Happy Mother's Day. And then as you can see, I wrote love and then my 3 kids' names. And then I wrote the year 2020 because this is kind of a big deal. With it being the year we all went into quarantine, the year we all missed school, it's kind of a big deal that you remember your mom, and that your mom can remember that this was the one she helped you make, or maybe you're making it as a surprise while she's making dinner or something. So make sure you get 2020 on there so that your mom knows when you made this, because I don't know about your mom, but my mom still has stuff made that I made when I was a kid, like kindergarten. So my mom has stuff from when I was 5. That's a long time. But it's kind of cool to look back because we have the dates on a lot of things, so we can look back and see how old I was when I made that stuff, and that's pretty cool. Now, make sure you give it to mom. And make sure you give your mom lots of love on Sunday. Because Sunday is her day. If you have questions, shoot me an email. You guys know my email. hbodden@psd1.org. If you need some more help, need some more ideas, you can also message me on Dojo. Have fun. Make your mom something to love. And if you want to share it with me, I would love to see it too. Now, if you don't have a mom, or you're not going to see your mom on Mother's Day, could you do this for another lovely lady in your life? Yeah, you could make this for your grandma. You could make this for your aunt. You could even make this for a good friend of the family's, if that's someone who has been important to your life. So, like I said, my kids, this is going in a box up to grandma's, and it's going to help make their day special, because we can't be there with them this time. So, with that, I hope you guys have fun, be safe, and I will talk to you guys later.